Welcome to Science for Sleep. Tonight, we'll gently move outward, from our own sky to our galaxy, to galaxies beyond galaxies, until numbers stop feeling meaningful and the universe becomes something you don't need to hold anymore. There is nothing to remember, nothing to solve, just something vast enough to rest inside. When the sky still felt small, before telescopes, before science, before numbers grew too large to picture, the stars felt close. They rose and set every night. They returned in the same patterns. They felt like companions rather than distances. Ancient civilizations named them, mapped them, told stories through them. The sky felt like a ceiling, high, mysterious, but reachable in thought. On the clearest nights, the human eye can see a few thousand stars. Not all at once, but spread across the sky, appearing and fading as darkness deepens. This limited view shaped how humanity understood the universe for thousands of years. The stars were many, but not overwhelming. They felt countable. This sense of countability shaped early ideas of reality. If the stars could be named, grouped, and remembered, then the universe itself felt structured around human scale. The sky belonged to observation, not to infinity. Even when early astronomers began cataloging stars, the numbers stayed manageable. Hundreds, thousands, eventually tens of thousands, still finite, still approachable. The universe felt large, but not ungraspable. Then telescopes quietly changed everything. When Galileo turned his telescope toward the Milky Way, he did not see clouds or mist. He saw stars, countless stars, packed so tightly together that the human eye had mistaken them for haze. The sky was not sparse. It was dense. This discovery was the first crack in the idea that stars were rare points scattered across a simple dome. The Milky Way was not a backdrop. It was a structure, and structures imply scale. As telescopes improved, more stars appeared. Every increase in sensitivity revealed lights that had always been there, just beyond vision. The night sky did not change. Human perception did. This realization is important. Stars were not being discovered because they suddenly existed. They were discovered because the universe was already full, far fuller than the human eye could ever reveal. Even so, early astronomers still believed they were looking at the universe. The Milky Way was thought to be everything. All stars belonged to one vast but singular system. This belief held for centuries. The universe was big, but still singular. The stars were many, but still local. It wasn't until the early 20th century that this picture finally dissolved. When astronomers realized that faint, fuzzy smudges in the sky were not nearby clouds, but entire galaxies, each containing billions of stars, the idea of counting stars took on a completely different meaning. The question quietly changed. It was no longer, how many stars can we see? It became, how many stars could possibly exist? This shift marks the true beginning of cosmic scale. Because once stars belong not to one galaxy but to countless galaxies, the universe stops feeling like a collection of lights and starts feeling like something layered, repeating, vast beyond intuition. And yet, even now, the mind still tries to count. It wants numbers. It wants totals. It wants closure. But the universe does not offer closure easily. As we move forward, we'll begin expanding outward, first through our own galaxy, then beyond it, until the idea of counting stars becomes less about arithmetic and more about perspective. For now, let this first idea settle gently. The night sky never grew larger. We simply learned how much we had been missing. Counting what cannot be seen. Once the Milky Way was understood to be a galaxy, a vast system of stars rather than a thin band of light, the idea of counting stars changed completely. The question was no longer about what the eye could see. It became a question of structure. Our galaxy is shaped like a disk, with a dense central bulge and sweeping spiral arms. Within that structure, stars are not evenly spaced. Some regions are crowded, others quiet. Dust clouds hide light. Distance dims brightness. Entire populations of stars exist without ever revealing themselves directly. This makes counting difficult. Astronomers cannot simply look at the Milky Way and add things up. Instead, they estimate. They sample small regions, measure star density, and then scale those measurements across the galaxy's full size. Even this method has limits. Some stars are faint red dwarfs that emit very little light. Others are hidden behind thick clouds of dust. Many exist in regions we cannot observe clearly from our position inside the galaxy itself. So when scientists estimate the number of stars in the Milky Way, they do not give a precise count. They give a range. Most estimates fall somewhere between 100 billion and 400 billion stars. That range alone is revealing. A difference of hundreds of billions is not considered uncertainty in everyday life. But in astronomy, it is accepted calmly. The universe is not offended by approximation. This acceptance marks a shift in thinking. Precision matters less than understanding scale. Whether the Milky Way holds 100 billion stars or 400 billion, the difference does not change the story. The story is that our galaxy alone contains more stars than there are grains of sand on many beaches combined. And this is only one galaxy. Each star within the Milky Way is its own system. Many host planets. Some host dozens. Others burn quietly, alone, never forming worlds at all. Most will never be visited. Most will never be named. Most will never be seen directly. They exist regardless. This realization begins to loosen the mind's grip on numbers. When quantities grow this large, counting stops being practical and starts becoming symbolic. The number is not meant to be held. It is meant to be felt. Astronomers often explain the Milky Way's size by analogy. If you could count one star per second without rest, it would take thousands of years to count the stars in our galaxy alone. But even this analogy falls short. Because counting implies sequence. It implies a finish line. And the Milky Way does not offer one. Stars are being born as others fade. Supernovae occur quietly, unseen by human eyes. New stars ignite behind dust clouds long before their light escapes. The number is not static, it is fluid. This fluidity matters. When we ask how many stars are in the Milky Way, we are asking a question about a system that is constantly changing. Stars form, stars die, stars move. The galaxy breathes. And breathing systems do not hold still long enough to be counted cleanly. This realization prepares us for the next step outward. If counting stars in our own galaxy is already uncertain, already approximate, then what happens when we consider the billions of galaxies beyond it? The mind may try to multiply, but multiplication assumes simplicity. The universe does not. As we move forward, we'll leave the Milky Way behind, not physically, but conceptually, and begin exploring how astronomers estimate stars on scales so large that even imagination begins to soften. For now, let this thought rest gently. Even within our own galaxy, certainty dissolves into scale, and scale does not need to be counted to be real. Discovering that the sky repeats itself. For a long time, the Milky Way felt like the whole story. Even after astronomers accepted that it was a galaxy, a vast, rotating system of stars, it still felt singular. Large beyond imagination, but alone. The universe felt like one grand structure with many parts, not many structures repeating endlessly. That idea did not survive the 20th century. As telescopes grew more powerful, astronomers began to notice something strange. Faint smudges appeared far beyond the stars of the Milky Way. At first, these were dismissed as nearby clouds of gas or unresolved clusters of stars within our own galaxy. They were neither. They were galaxies. Entire systems, each containing billions of stars, existing far beyond the boundaries of our own. This realization quietly multiplied the universe. The sky was no longer made of stars alone. It was made of islands of stars, each island as complex and massive as the Milky Way itself. And once that realization settled, the question of counting stars changed forever. It was no longer enough to estimate how many stars exist in one galaxy. That number, already uncertain, now had to be multiplied by the number of galaxies in the universe. At first, astronomers believed the number of galaxies was modest, a few million perhaps. The universe still felt large, but not endless. Then deeper observations arrived. When telescopes were aimed at seemingly empty patches of sky, they revealed something unexpected. Those dark regions were not empty at all. They were filled with galaxies, faint, distant, and numerous beyond expectation. Every improvement in sensitivity revealed more. Not different kinds of objects, not strange anomalies, but more galaxies. The sky did not thin out. It repeated. This repetition is one of the universe's most calming traits. The same patterns appear again and again at every scale. Stars group into galaxies. Galaxies group into clusters. Clusters form filaments. Filaments stretch across vast distances, woven into a cosmic web. Structure upon structure, no single center, no special region, just repetition. This repetition makes counting feel strange. Because when something repeats endlessly, numbers stop offering clarity. Whether there are 2 trillion galaxies or 3 trillion does not change the experience of scale. The universe is not asking to be totaled. It is revealing abundance. Modern estimates suggest that the observable universe contains hundreds of billions to trillions of galaxies. Each of those galaxies contains billions to hundreds of billions of stars. Even the smallest estimates lead to numbers so large that language begins to fail. Trillions multiplied by billions. The result is not a number the mind can comfortably hold, and that is okay. The universe does not require comprehension to exist. Astronomers know this. That is why they speak in ranges, not absolutes. They understand that counting stars across the universe is not about reaching a final tally. It is about recognizing scale. Every time the universe is observed more deeply, it reveals more of the same. More galaxies, more stars, more repetition of structure. There is no sign that this pattern ends suddenly. No hint of a final layer. Just continuation. This suggests something important. The universe is not sparse, it is generous. Stars are not rare exceptions scattered across emptiness. They are common outcomes of cosmic processes where matter gathers, stars form. Where stars form, galaxies emerge. Abundance is the rule, and abundance does not need to be counted to be understood. As we move forward, we'll begin to approach the question directly: how astronomers estimate the total number of stars in the observable universe, and why even that estimate remains intentionally vague. For now, let this thought rest gently. The sky does not hold a single galaxy. It holds a repeating pattern of countless worlds, each glowing quietly in the dark. Why the universe refuses exact numbers? When numbers grow too large, precision begins to lose its meaning. Astronomers understand this well. They do not avoid exact counts because they lack skill or data. They avoid them because the universe itself does not hold still long enough to be counted cleanly. Stars are not fixed objects in a static collection. They are born, they age, and they fade. Galaxies merge, stretch, and evolve. Light takes time to travel, meaning that when we observe distant stars, we are seeing them as they were long ago, not as they are now. This alone complicates counting. When astronomers look deep into space, they are not observing the universe at a single moment. They are looking across time. Nearby stars appear as they exist now. Distant galaxies appear as they existed billions of years ago. So when we ask how many stars are in the universe, we are not asking about a single snapshot. We are asking about a layered history. This makes exact totals impossible. Even if we could see every star, which we cannot, the number would change by the time we finished counting. New stars would form, others would die, entire galaxies would shift. The universe does not pause for arithmetic. Instead of counting directly, astronomers use statistical methods. They observe small, representative regions of space. They measure how many galaxies appear in those regions. They estimate how many stars each type of galaxy typically contains. Then they scale those numbers outward across the observable universe. This approach does not produce a single number. It produces a range. That range is intentional. Ranges acknowledge uncertainty without fear. They accept that knowledge can be meaningful, even when it is incomplete. This mindset is essential when dealing with cosmic scale. Modern estimates suggest that the observable universe may contain somewhere around 10 to the power of 22 to 24 stars. That is a 1 followed by 22 to 24 zeros. Written out, the number becomes unreadable. Spoken aloud, it loses impact. Felt emotionally, it becomes something else entirely. At this scale, stars stop feeling like individual points of light. They become a texture, a background, a quiet abundance that does not need to be tracked or managed. This is why astronomers rarely dwell on the exact figure. The figure itself is not the point. The point is that the universe is not empty. It is full beyond expectation. Every patch of darkness holds more light than the eye can ever reveal. Every improvement in observation reveals not a boundary, but continuation. The universe does not thin out as distance increases. It remains rich. This richness carries a quiet comfort. A universe filled with stars is not fragile. It does not depend on a few special regions. It does not rely on rare accidents. Star formation is common. Galaxies are abundant. Structure emerges naturally wherever matter gathers. Abundance is built into the universe. This means that when we ask how many stars exist, the answer is not meant to close the question. It is meant to open perspective. The universe is not something that can be fully counted. It is something that unfolds. As we move forward, we'll begin to explore what happens when numbers stop being useful. When the mind releases the need to count and begins to rest inside scale instead. For now, let this idea settle gently. The universe does not offer exact numbers. It offers vastness, beyond counting, toward feeling. At a certain point, numbers stop helping. They grow too large to picture, too abstract to feel, too distant from everyday experience to offer clarity. When astronomers speak of trillions of galaxies and countless stars within each one, the mind may try to follow and then quietly give up. This is not failure. It is adaptation. The human mind did not evolve to hold quantities this vast. It evolved to recognize patterns, sense changes, and find calm within environments that repeat predictably. The universe, it turns out, is very good at repetition. James Webb and other deep space telescopes do not show chaos when they look far away. They show familiarity. Galaxies look like galaxies. Stars behave like stars. The same structures appear again and again, no matter how deep the observation goes. This repetition is soothing. It means the universe is not hiding something radically different at larger scales. It is not waiting to surprise us with a sudden end or a dramatic shift. It is simply doing what it has always done, forming stars wherever matter gathers, allowing light to travel quietly through space. When numbers grow too large to count, the universe becomes something you sense rather than calculate. You stop asking how many and start noticing how it feels. It feels abundant. It feels patient. It feels steady. The stars do not compete for attention. They do not crowd one another. Even when packed densely within galaxies, the distances between them are vast and calm. Space dominates. Silence dominates. Motion is slow. This is important. A universe with so many stars could feel overwhelming, but it does not. The vast distances between them soften everything. Even abundance is gentle when spread across space this large. This is why numbers lose their urgency. Once you realize that the universe is filled with stars everywhere you look, the exact count becomes irrelevant. Whether there are 10 sextillion stars or 100 sextillion does not change the experience of scale. The universe remains immense either way, and immensity, when steady, becomes background. Astronomers understand this intuitively. They calculate when calculation is useful. They stop when it no longer adds meaning. Beyond a certain scale, description replaces enumeration. They talk about distributions, densities, averages. They describe trends rather than totals. They focus on behavior instead of counts. The universe encourages this shift. It does not present itself as a list to be completed. It presents itself as a field, wide, continuous, and uninterested in being fully cataloged. This makes the universe feel less like a puzzle and more like a landscape. You do not count every grain of sand to understand a beach. You do not count every leaf to understand a forest. You recognize the pattern. The universe is the same. Stars are not isolated marvels sprinkled across emptiness. They are the natural outcome of cosmic processes that operate everywhere. Where matter gathers, stars ignite. Where stars ignite, galaxies form. Where galaxies cluster, structure emerges. Nothing feels forced. Nothing feels rare. This is deeply calming. A universe where stars are common is a universe that does not depend on fragile coincidences. It is resilient. It is generous. It is capable of continuing quietly for vast spans of time. As the mind releases numbers, it begins to rest inside that generosity. There is no pressure to grasp everything, no expectation to understand fully. Understanding is no longer the goal. Presence is. As we move forward, we'll continue drifting away from calculation and toward perspective, exploring how a universe filled with stars changes the way we see ourselves without diminishing us. For now, let this thought settle gently. The universe is not asking to be counted. The stars we will never see. Even the deepest telescopes do not show the whole universe. They show only what light has had time to reach us from. This simple fact quietly limits everything we can know about how many stars truly exist. Beyond a certain distance, stars are not hidden by darkness or dust. They are hidden by time itself. Light travels at a finite speed. The universe has a finite age. Because of this, there is a boundary to what can be observed, a horizon beyond which light has not yet arrived. Everything beyond that horizon exists, but remains invisible for now. This means that when astronomers estimate the number of stars in the universe, they are always speaking about the observable universe, not the entire universe. This distinction matters. The observable universe is not the whole of reality. It is simply the portion that has had time to reveal itself. Beyond it, space may continue. Galaxies may continue. Stars may continue forming quietly, just as they do here, but we cannot see them, and we never will. This is not a limitation to be overcome. It is a natural feature of the universe. Observation has a boundary, but existence does not. Astronomers know this, and they account for it calmly. When they estimate the number of stars, they begin with what can be measured. They count galaxies in small patches of sky. They estimate average star counts per galaxy. Then they scale those estimates across the observable volume. Even this careful process leaves much unseen. Many galaxies are too faint to detect. Some are obscured by dust. Others lie so far away that their light has been stretched and dimmed beyond detection. Entire populations of stars remain hidden inside dense regions where light cannot easily escape. The stars we see are not the majority. They are the ones kind enough to announce themselves. Most stars exist quietly, without ever becoming visible to us. They burn dimly, far from anything that might notice them. Their light never reaches Earth. Their existence leaves no trace in our telescopes. This is not tragic. It is peaceful. A universe where most stars exist unseen is not empty. It is simply private. It does not require recognition. It does not seek observation. It exists on its own terms. This realization softens the question of numbers even further. If most stars cannot be seen, then counting becomes a gesture rather than a task. Estimates become acknowledgments of scale rather than attempts at completion. Astronomers are comfortable with this. They understand that science is not about exhausting reality. It is about describing what can be known while respecting what cannot. The universe does not demand to be fully visible. It does not rush to reveal itself. It allows glimpses. James Webb and other telescopes extend those glimpses gently. They show us stars forming in the earliest galaxies. They reveal light that has traveled billions of years, arriving quietly without announcement. But even these powerful instruments do not show everything. They show enough. Enough to know that stars are common. Enough to know that galaxies repeat endlessly. Enough to know that the universe is rich beyond expectation. This is where the mind begins to rest more deeply. There is no pressure to uncover every star, no need to illuminate every corner. The universe is not withholding information. It is simply larger than observation. And largeness does not require completion. As we move forward, we'll begin to turn the perspective inward, exploring how living in a universe filled with unseen stars changes how smallness, meaning, and presence are understood. For now, let this thought settle gently. Most stars will never be seen, and yet, the universe remains full. When scale stops reducing us. When people first hear how many stars exist in the universe, a familiar feeling often arises. Smallness. It can feel as though meaning shrinks as numbers grow, as though importance fades when placed beside trillions of galaxies and countless stars. But the universe does not behave that way. James Webb and modern astronomy quietly suggest the opposite. Scale does not erase presence. In a universe filled with stars, nothing competes for importance. There is no center where meaning gathers and no edge where it disappears. Every region follows the same laws. Every location is fully inside the universe, not pushed to its margins. This matters. Smallness only feels diminishing when importance is limited. In a crowded universe, importance would have to be fought for. But the universe is not crowded in that way. Even with countless stars, space remains vast. Distance remains generous. Silence remains common. Abundance does not overwhelm, it spreads. The stars do not press inward. They are separated by distances so large that even light takes years to cross them. Galaxies drift slowly, rarely colliding. Change happens on timescales so long that urgency dissolves. This creates room for calm, room for stability, room for moments to exist without pressure. In this kind of universe, small does not mean insignificant. It means specific, local, placed. Earth exists at one particular location within one particular galaxy, orbiting one particular star. That specificity does not remove meaning. It creates it. Meaning arises from conditions, not scale. A universe with few stars would be fragile. A universe with many stars is resilient. It allows quiet regions where nothing dramatic needs to happen for long periods of time. Earth exists in one of those regions, far from violent galactic centers, far from frequent collisions, far from intense radiation fields. This placement is not remarkable because it is rare. It is remarkable because the universe is large enough to allow such places to exist naturally. James Webb shows that the universe is not hostile by default. It is spacious. It gives things time. It allows systems to settle. This reframes how we experience scale. The universe is not leaning over us, reminding us how small we are. It is surrounding us, giving space on all sides. The stars do not watch. They do not judge. They do not compare. They simply exist. And existence does not diminish other existence. As this idea settles, the emotional response to vast numbers begins to change. Instead of feeling reduced, the mind begins to feel unburdened. There is no need to measure oneself against the universe. The universe does not ask for that comparison. It allows presence without competition. This is deeply calming. Nothing is trying to replace us. Nothing is trying to overshadow us. Nothing is demanding importance. The universe is large enough that nothing has to fight for space. As we move forward, we'll continue exploring how this abundance changes our relationship with meaning, rest, and the idea of being part of something without being lost inside it. For now, let this thought rest gently. A universe filled with stars does not make us disappear. It gives us room to exist quietly. Why abundance feels calm, not overwhelming. Abundance is often mistaken for noise. In daily life, too much of anything can feel overwhelming. Too many sounds, too many lights, too many demands arriving at once. But the universe does not offer abundance in that way. Its abundance is spread out. James Webb and deep space observations reveal a universe filled with stars, yet dominated by space. Distance softens everything. Even where stars gather densely, they are separated by vast intervals of emptiness. Light travels quietly. Motion unfolds slowly. Nothing crowds the senses. This is why a universe containing more stars than the mind can imagine does not feel chaotic. The abundance is gentle. It does not rush toward us. It does not compete for attention. Stars shine without urgency. Galaxies rotate without haste. Time moves without pressure. This kind of abundance does not overwhelm. It reassures. Because when abundance is stable, it implies resilience. A system filled with countless stars is not dependent on any single one. If one fades, others continue. If one galaxy changes, countless others remain unchanged. The universe does not balance on a knife's edge. It rests. This resting quality is deeply calming to the human mind. We are sensitive to fragility. We feel tension when systems appear close to failure. But the universe, viewed at this scale, does not appear fragile. It appears patient. Stars form routinely wherever conditions allow. Galaxies assemble and persist for billions of years. Structures repeat across vast distances without variation. Nothing looks accidental. Nothing looks temporary. Nothing looks hurried. This steadiness transforms how we respond emotionally to scale. Instead of feeling lost, we feel supported. Instead of feeling insignificant, we feel contained within something that is not in danger of collapsing. James Webb's universe is not shouting complexity. It is whispering continuity, and continuity allows rest. When the mind senses that reality is stable, it relaxes its grip. There is no need to stay alert. No need to monitor for sudden change. No need to protect against collapse. The universe has already demonstrated its endurance. This allows attention to soften. Numbers lose their sharpness. Comparisons lose their relevance. The need to measure oneself against vastness fades. The universe is not asking us to keep up. It is allowing us to be. As this understanding settles, the question of how many stars exist becomes less important than the feeling the answer creates. The answer does not demand action. It does not imply urgency. It does not suggest scarcity. It suggests room. Room for galaxies to drift. Room for stars to burn quietly. Room for moments to exist without being rushed. This room is what makes sleep possible. A universe that is crowded and fragile would keep the mind alert. A universe that is spacious and resilient allows the mind to rest. James Webb confirms that the universe is the second kind. As we move forward, we'll begin to transition more fully into reflection, allowing numbers, distances, and even stars themselves to soften into background, preparing the mind to rest inside the idea of abundance without needing to track it. For now, let this thought settle gently. Abundance does not have to be loud. In the universe, abundance is quiet, living inside a universe that has time. When the universe becomes full enough, time begins to feel different. A universe with only a few stars would feel brief, fragile, as if everything important had to happen quickly. But a universe filled with countless stars suggests patience. It suggests endurance. It suggests that nothing is rushing toward an ending. James Webb and modern astronomy quietly reinforce this idea. The stars we see are not young. Many are billions of years old. Some formed not long after the universe itself became transparent to light. They have burned steadily through immense stretches of time, unchanged by attention or neglect. This kind of longevity softens our relationship with time. Time stops feeling like something that is running out and starts feeling like something that is available. There is room for delay, room for pauses, room for quiet moments that do not need to lead anywhere. The universe does not behave like a countdown. Stars do not hurry through their lives. Even the most massive ones, which burn quickly by cosmic standards, still take millions of years to fade. Smaller stars can burn for tens or hundreds of billions of years, far longer than the current age of the universe. This scale reframes urgency. Nothing in the universe seems concerned with efficiency. Processes unfold when conditions allow. Stars form slowly as clouds collapse. Planets assemble gradually from disks of dust. Galaxies take billions of years to organize into stable shapes. Everything takes time. And taking time is not a flaw. It is a sign of stability. A universe that has time to spare is not fragile. It does not need to compress meaning into short moments. It does not require constant motion to justify its existence. This realization eases the human tendency to rush. When the largest system we know moves slowly, there is no pressure for smaller systems to hurry. The universe does not set deadlines. It does not demand outcomes. It does not reward speed. It allows continuation. James Webb's view of the cosmos supports this gently. The galaxies it reveals look settled, not frantic. Their shapes are calm. Their motion is predictable. Their change is gradual. Nothing looks like it is about to fall apart. This stability seeps inward. When the mind senses that reality itself is patient, it releases its grip on urgency. The feeling that something must be done immediately begins to fade. There is no cosmic penalty for rest. The universe has waited billions of years before revealing its earliest stars. It can wait a little longer. As this understanding settles, attention begins to slow. Thoughts stretch out. Gaps between ideas widen. Silence becomes comfortable rather than empty. Time stops pressing. Moments do not feel wasted. Pauses do not feel dangerous. Stillness does not feel like absence. It feels natural. Living in a universe filled with stars means living inside a system that is not in a hurry. The stars themselves are proof of this. Their steady light is not dramatic. It is consistent, reliable, unconcerned with speed. This steadiness invites rest. As we move forward, we'll continue exploring how this softened sense of time allows the mind to let go, how abundance and patience together create a natural path toward calm and sleep. For now, let this idea rest gently. The universe has time, and because it has time, so do you. Why patience quietens the mind. A patient universe changes the way the mind behaves. When reality itself unfolds slowly, without urgency, the mind no longer feels responsible for keeping pace. There is nothing to catch up with, nothing moving too fast to follow, nothing that requires constant attention to remain intact. James Webb reveals a universe that has been patient for billions of years. Stars ignite slowly. Galaxies take vast stretches of time to form their shapes. Even the expansion of space itself happens gently, without sudden jumps or sharp turns. This patience is contagious. The mind begins to mirror the rhythm of the universe it imagines. Thoughts slow. The space between them grows wider. There is less need to fill silence with ideas or explanations. Silence starts to feel safe. In a universe where change takes millions or billions of years, there is no reason to rush a single moment. No single thought carries excessive weight. Nothing needs to be resolved immediately. The stars themselves offer this lesson. They do not flicker nervously. They do not appear and vanish quickly. They shine steadily, sometimes for longer than the universe has existed so far. This steadiness sends a quiet message. Nothing important is fragile. The universe does not depend on constant effort to continue. It does not need attention to remain stable. It does not collapse when awareness fades. James Webb confirms this by showing us galaxies that have remained intact across enormous spans of time. They have endured collisions, expansions, and transformations. yet their overall structure persists calmly. This endurance allows trust. Trust that rest will not cause harm. Trust that pausing will not lead to loss. Trust that letting go will not undo anything meaningful. When the mind trusts stability, it relaxes naturally. There is no need to stay alert, no need to monitor outcomes, no need to anticipate what comes next. The universe is not rushing toward an ending. It is continuing. This realization softens the inner sense of time even further. Moments stop lining up like steps to be climbed. They become open spaces to rest within. Nothing is late. Nothing is early. Everything is simply happening when it happens. This is the rhythm of a universe filled with stars. A rhythm without sharp edges, without deadlines, without pressure. As the mind settles into this rhythm, thoughts become less insistent. They arrive more gently. They leave without being followed. There is no urgency attached to them. They are allowed to pass. This is where calm deepens. The universe is not asking for vigilance. It is not demanding comprehension. It is not waiting for action. It is simply being. And within something that is simply being, rest becomes natural. As we move forward, the focus will gradually shift away from explanation and toward quiet presence, allowing the mind to rest inside the idea of a patient universe without needing to hold on to any details. For now, let this thought settle gently. The universe has waited a very long time. It can wait quietly while you rest, letting the universe become background. At a certain point, even the idea of stars begins to soften, not because they disappear, but because they no longer need attention. After traveling outward through numbers, galaxies, and time, the mind reaches a quiet place where scale stops asking to be imagined. The universe becomes background. James Webb does not change this. It confirms it. The telescope reveals more stars than anyone expected, yet those discoveries do not create urgency. They create steadiness. The universe looks the same wherever we look. Calm structure repeating calmly. Nothing demands focus. When scale fades into background, awareness no longer stretches outward. It settles where it is, supported by the understanding that nothing needs to be held together. The universe does not depend on being imagined. Stars continue burning whether or not they are counted. Galaxies continue drifting whether or not they are observed. Time continues unfolding whether or not it is tracked. Everything important is already happening. This realization allows the mind to release effort. There is no need to picture distances, no need to remember numbers, no need to follow concepts carefully. The universe has already shown that it is stable. Stability does not require supervision. As this settles, the body responds naturally. Muscles soften, breath slows. The sense of having to do something fades. There is no task left. The universe is not waiting for understanding. It is not waiting for completion. It is not waiting for attention. It simply continues. James Webb reveals galaxies that have existed for billions of years without ever being seen. Their existence was never in doubt, even when they were unknown. This is important. Reality does not require awareness to be real. And because of that, awareness does not need to stay active. The mind is allowed to rest. As scale becomes background, silence grows more noticeable. Not an empty silence, but a full one, filled with continuity, filled with patience. Most of the universe is silent. Most universe is still. Motion exists, but it is slow and predictable. Change exists, but it unfolds gently. This kind of environment does not demand alertness. It invites rest. As the idea of countless stars fades into the background, something else becomes clearer. There is no urgency anywhere, no signal that something is about to happen, no indication that anything requires attention. Everything is already where it needs to be. The universe is not building toward a conclusion. It is simply unfolding. And unfolding does not require effort. As we move forward, the narration will slow even more, allowing thought to thin out and awareness to drift naturally, without direction. For now, let this idea rest gently. The universe does not need to be held in mind. It can be background. And background is where rest begins. When thought becomes optional, as the universe settles fully into the background, thought begins to loosen on its own. There is no effort required for this. It happens naturally when nothing feels urgent. The mind no longer needs to hold ideas in place. Concepts drift without pulling attention with them. Words arrive softly and leave just as quietly. James Webb has already shown enough. The size of the universe has been felt. The abundance of stars has been accepted. The patience of time has been trusted. Nothing new needs to be added to this picture. So the mind begins to rest inside it. Thought becomes optional. You may notice gaps between thoughts growing wider. These gaps do not feel empty. They feel open, comfortable, like pauses that do not need to be filled. The universe itself is mostly pauses. Between stars, there is space. Between galaxies, there is silence. Between events, there is time. These pauses are not waiting for something to happen. They are simply part of how reality exists. As awareness mirrors this structure, the need to think fades gently. There is no sense of loss, no concern about forgetting something important. Nothing important depends on thought right now. Stars will continue burning. Galaxies will continue drifting. The universe will continue unfolding. None of this requires attention. This realization allows a deeper release. The body remains supported. Breath moves quietly on its own. There is no need to adjust or correct anything. Everything is already balanced. James Webb shows galaxies that have existed for billions of years without ever being observed. Their existence did not require recognition. Their stability did not depend on understanding. Reality is self-sustaining, and because reality does not require thought, thought can rest. As the narration continues, words may soften further. Their meaning becomes less important than their rhythm. Sound becomes more important than sense. Tone becomes more important than information. This is not a loss of clarity. It is a return to ease. The universe is not asking to be figured out. It is offering a place to rest within something vast and steady. As thought thins, awareness spreads gently. There is no edge to it, no direction to follow, no destination to reach, just presence. This presence does not need to be defined. It is enough. As we move forward, the narration will slow again, becoming even quieter and more repetitive, allowing sleep to approach without effort. For now, let this idea settle gently. You do not need to keep thinking. The universe is already thinking for itself. When awareness no longer reaches out. At this point, awareness no longer needs to reach outward. The universe has already expanded far enough in thought. The stars have multiplied beyond counting. The scale has softened into something steady and quiet. Nothing new needs to be imagined. Everything important is already present. James Webb has shown a universe that continues calmly without interruption. Galaxies exist whether or not they are observed. Stars burn quietly without needing recognition. Time unfolds without requiring attention. This allows awareness to settle where it is. There is no need to scan outward. No need to picture distance. No need to follow ideas. The universe does not change when awareness rests. It remains vast, it remains patient, it remains stable. As awareness stops reaching outward, it begins to rest inward, not toward thought, but toward stillness. The sense of effort fades, the sense of direction fades. There is no place to go and nothing to hold. This is not emptiness. It is fullness without demand. The universe itself exists this way. Most of it is quiet. Most of it is space. Most of it is stillness, interrupted only occasionally by slow, gentle motion. Awareness mirrors this naturally. Breath continues without instruction. The body remains supported. There is no need to adjust anything. Nothing requires correction. James Webb's discoveries confirm that reality does not require supervision. The universe does not wobble when unobserved. It does not collapse when attention fades. It continues. This knowledge removes the final tension. There is no responsibility tied to staying awake, no task associated with listening, no benefit to remaining alert. Everything is already okay. As this settles, sound may soften further, words may blur, meaning may dissolve into rhythm. This is not something to resist. It is a sign that awareness is no longer holding tightly. Sleep does not arrive as an event. It arrives as permission. Permission to stop tracking. Permission to stop following. Permission to let go. The universe has already given that permission. It has been unfolding quietly for billions of years without needing attention. It will continue unfolding quietly now. As we move forward, the narration will slow even more, becoming almost repetitive, almost still, allowing the listener to drift without noticing when sleep arrives. For now, let this idea rest gently. Awareness does not need to reach outward anymore. The universe is already here. When language begins to fade, words are no longer important now. They can arrive softly and leave just as quietly. There is no need to follow them, no need to understand them, no need to remember anything that is said. The universe does not speak in sentences. It exists in long pauses. James Webb has already shown that existence does not require narration. Galaxies do not describe themselves. Stars do not explain their light. Time does not announce its passing. Everything simply continues. As language fades, awareness becomes simpler. There is no storyline to follow, no sequence to track, no idea that needs to be completed. Thought slows naturally. Pauses grow longer. Moments stretch. Silence becomes familiar. This silence is not empty. It is full of continuation. The universe is mostly quiet. Most of space is still. Most of time passes without events. This is not absence. It is stability. Awareness mirrors this stability without effort. Breath moves gently on its own. The body remains supported. Nothing needs to be adjusted. There is no need to stay present. No need to stay awake. No need to keep listening. Everything important is already happening without attention. James Webb does not need witnesses. The stars it revealed existed long before they were seen. They will continue long after they are forgotten. Reality does not depend on memory. As language thins, the mind no longer forms questions. It no longer seeks answers. It no longer measures time. There is no sense of before or after. Only now, stretching gently. This is where sleep arrives, not as something that begins, but as something that is allowed by stillness, allowed by safety, allowed by the knowledge that nothing requires vigilance. The universe is not waiting for awareness. It is already complete in its unfolding. As this chapter settles, sound may soften further. Words may blur into tone. Tone may blur into silence. Nothing needs to be held. Nothing needs to be done. Nothing needs to be understood. But universe continues quietly, and you can rest. When nothing needs attention now. The universe has already shown enough to know that it does not rush, does not demand, and does not require watching. The stars exist without being counted. Galaxies drift without being followed. Time unfolds without being measured. Everything continues on its own. James Webb revealed abundance, not urgency. Vastness, not pressure. A universe that does not crowd awareness, but holds it gently without asking anything in return. This allows attention to soften completely. There is no need to focus, no need to listen closely, no need to stay aware. The universe does not notice when attention fades. It remains steady. Space remains open. Stars remain distant and calm. Time remains wide. Nothing changes when awareness loosens. This is the deepest reassurance. Reality is not fragile. Existence is not dependent on effort. Continuity does not require thought. Most of the universe exists this way. Quiet, unobserved, undisturbed. Entire galaxies burn softly in darkness without ever being seen. Their light travels outward without expectation. The universe does not wait to be acknowledged. As awareness mirrors this, the mind no longer reaches for anything. There is nothing missing, nothing unfinished, nothing that needs to be resolved before rest. Everything is already balanced. Breath continues without instruction. The body remains supported without adjustment. Silence becomes comfortable. There is no signal calling attention back. James Webb does not pull awareness outward anymore. Its discoveries have settled into trust. Trust that the universe is large enough to continue quietly, patient enough to wait, stable enough to hold everything gently. This trust allows complete release. Sleep does not interrupt anything important. Rest does not pause reality. Letting go does not create absence. Everything carries on. As this chapter unfolds, words may continue softly, or they may fade into background. Either way is fine. Nothing depends on listening now. The universe does not require presence. It simply exists. And within something that exists so calmly, rest arrives naturally. For now, let this idea rest with you. Nothing needs attention. Everything continues. Resting without effort. There is nothing you need to do now, nothing to follow, nothing to remember, nothing to hold in mind. The universe is already doing everything it needs to do. Stars continue shining quietly. Galaxies continue drifting slowly. Time continues unfolding without urgency. None of this depends on awareness. James Webb revealed a universe that does not hurry. It showed that even the most distant light arrives gently after traveling for billions of years without rushing or demanding attention. That gentleness is everywhere. Most of the universe exists in silence. Most of the universe exists unseen. Most of the universe exists without interruption. And it remains stable. As awareness settles into this understanding, effort fades completely. There is no need to stay present. No need to track words. No need to notice when thoughts come or go. They can pass freely. Breath moves softly on its own. The body rests where it is supported. Stillness deepens naturally. Nothing needs adjustment. The universe does not lean toward collapse. It does not depend on balance being maintained. It does not require attention to remain whole. Everything is already held. This is what allows rest without effort. Sleep does not need to be reached. It does not need to be invited. It arrives when there is nothing left to manage. And there is nothing left to manage. Words may continue softly, or they may fade into the background. Meaning may blur. Time may feel less defined. All of this is natural. There is no right way to listen now. The universe does not measure attention. It simply continues. As this chapter settles, awareness becomes light and wide. There is no edge to it, no direction, no urgency, just quiet presence, and then less than presence, and then rest. The universe remains exactly as it is, calm, vast, patient, and you can rest within that patience. When awareness can fully let go, there is nothing left to hold now, no ideas to keep in place, no thoughts to follow, no meaning to gather. Everything important is already continuing on its own. The universe does not pause when attention fades. Stars do not dim when awareness softens. Galaxies do not stop drifting when thought dissolves. James Webb revealed this quietly. A universe that has existed for billions of years without being watched does not need observation now. It does not require listening. It does not require understanding. It simply continues. As awareness loosens, even the sense of listening can fade. Words may still arrive, but they no longer need to be noticed. Sound becomes part of the background, like distant light passing without destination. Nothing is lost when this happens. The universe does not keep track of attention. It does not reward focus. It does not punish rest. Everything remains stable. Breath continues gently. The body remains supported. Time moves without measurement. There is no urgency anywhere. Most of the universe exists this way, quiet, unobserved, unhurried. Entire galaxies burn softly in darkness, never seen, never named, yet perfectly real. Reality does not depend on awareness, and because of that, awareness does not need to stay awake. This is where rest deepens naturally. Thought slows until it no longer forms sentences. Images soften until they no longer hold shape. Memory releases until there is nothing to remember. There is no need to resist this. There is nothing to miss. The universe has already shown enough to know that everything is okay. As this chapter settles, silence becomes familiar. Not empty silence, but full silence. Filled with continuation, filled with patience, filled with steadiness. The universe remains vast. It remains calm. It remains unchanged, and you can rest. Rest without direction. There is nowhere to go now. No direction to follow. No path to stay on. No edge to reach. The universe does not move in straight lines toward conclusions. It expands gently, evenly, without signaling arrival or departure. James Webb has already shown this. The galaxies it revealed are not racing toward an end. They are drifting, rotating, unfolding slowly through time without urgency. Nothing is late. Nothing is early. Nothing is waiting. As awareness softens further, even the sense of being aware can fade. This is not something to notice. It simply happens when there is nothing left to attend to. Sound may still exist, but it no longer needs to be followed. Meaning dissolves into rhythm. Rhythm dissolves into silence. This is natural. The universe does not require understanding. It does not require clarity. It does not require memory. It exists without these things. Breath continues quietly. The body remains supported. Stillness deepens without effort. There is no direction now, no outward movement, no inward movement, no forward movement, just gentle continuation. The universe is not asking anything of you. Stars continue burning quietly. Galaxies continue drifting slowly. Time continues unfolding on its own. None of this responds to attention. This is why rest feels safe. Nothing collapses when thought stops. Nothing breaks when awareness loosens. Nothing changes when sleep arrives. The universe has always been this way. James Webb simply made it visible. As awareness thins, sound softens, meaning fades. Even the sense of time becomes less defined. Moments blend together without boundaries. This is natural. Sleep does not require effort. It arrives when effort is no longer present, and effort has already faded. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to hold, nothing left to understand. Everything important continues on its own. The universe remains vast. It remains calm. It remains patient, and you can rest within that patience. The universe without needing attention. There is nothing left to arrive at. No final idea to understand. No conclusion to reach. No moment that needs to be remembered. The universe does not move toward endings. It unfolds quietly, without signaling when something is complete. James Webb has already shown this, not through drama, but through consistency. Everywhere it looks, the universe behaves the same way. Calm, stable, patient. Galaxies exist whether or not they are observed. Stars continue burning whether or not they are counted. Time continues flowing whether or not it is measured. Nothing depends on awareness. This is the deepest reassurance. You don't need to stay awake for anything important. You do not need to listen closely. You do not need to remain present. Everything continues on its own. The universe existed long before attention arrived, and it will continue long after attention fades. This does not diminish presence. It frees it. There is no responsibility tied to witnessing reality. Reality does not need witnesses. James Webb did not reveal a fragile universe that requires care. It revealed a universe that is self-sustaining, a universe that carries itself forward gently, without urgency or strain. This allows the final release. Thought no longer needs to form. Memory no longer needs to hold. Attention no longer needs to stay awake. As awareness softens, there is no sense of loss. Nothing important slips away. Nothing meaningful disappears. The universe remains exactly as it is. Vast, quiet, unbothered. Breath continues naturally. The body remains supported. Stillness deepens without effort. There is no need to check in. No need to monitor anything. No need to stay aware. Rest does not interrupt reality. Sleep does not pause existence. Letting go does not create absence. Everything important continues. As this chapter settles, words become less distinct, meaning fades into tone. Tone fades into silence. This is not something to notice or resist. It is simply how rest arrives. Nothing more is required. Letting everything continue on its own. There is nothing left to do now, no final thought to complete, no idea to hold on to, no moment to remember. The universe does not close stories, it allows them to dissolve. James Webb has already shown enough to know that reality continues quietly, without asking anything from awareness. Stars remain where they are. Galaxies continue drifting slowly. Time continues unfolding without pause. None of this depends on listening. As attention fades, nothing changes. The universe does not dim, it does not slow, it does not wait. It simply continues. This is the deepest reassurance. Sleep does not interrupt anything important. Rest does not pause existence. Letting go does not create absence. Everything carries on exactly as it should. The structures James Webb revealed will remain long after this moment. Their gravity will still hold. Their motion will still unfold. Their place in the universe will remain unchanged. Nothing is lost. The body knows how to rest. The breath knows how to slow. The mind knows how to release. There is no instruction needed. Words no longer need to be followed. Meaning no longer needs to be held. Sound can soften into background. just as the universe has softened into quiet presence. Nothing important requires wakefulness. The universe is patient enough to wait, stable enough to continue, vast enough to hold everything gently. As awareness drifts, there is no need to hold on to the story, no need to listen closely, no need to stay present. You are not missing anything. The universe does not end. It does not conclude. It does not demand attention. It simply unfolds, quietly, endlessly, calmly. And you can rest now. Nothing more is required.